Good morning and welcome back to our second episode of Distance Learning 101. I'm Greg Ellis and we want to thank WTVA ABC again for giving us this 30 minutes to help you with your homeschool schooling, as we like to say. And today I'm joined by Misty McRae. She is our coordinator of instructional technology, and we are going to go into how can you do certain things with your online learning. Of course, on Wednesday, we talked with Dr. Piku and we set up a social contract. Hopefully you got your social contract ready, and now we are going to actually educate. Misty, welcome and thank you.
Thank you.
Kind of tell us your role and how have things changed for you in the last couple of weeks?
Well, like he said, my role is the coordinator of instructional technology, and it has changed tremendously in the past few weeks, where it's just like, oh, okay, I'm going to get to visit more classrooms and just kind of do my thing and help and assist in any way I can in the schools. And then it was like, what? Really? This happened? This actually hit, and I haven't stopped.
Right.
So it's definitely the ball's in my court with instructional technology and distance learning, and I know it's a new normal for everybody. So we're all in this together. Even my son that's a kindergartner at Carver, we're all in this together. So
Exactly. Well, you probably have as big of a role as anybody in this, and it's so important because it is technology instruction at home.
Right.
So what are some tips before we completely dive in that you would offer up to parents about this?
Well, I think first of all is don't get overwhelmed if you're not tech savvy. Of course, I am. I love technology, but even with a kindergartner at home and a husband for coach, it can definitely be overwhelming. It's a game changer. It's a new normal for all of us. So, and then parents that aren't tech savvy that are just trying to figure this out with their kindergartner students, they don't know how to log on. The K2s and 3-5s, they've been great as far as helping the parents reach out, as far as saying, hey, this is the steps. I've made a lot of how-tos and stuff like that, just to help them get over this hump.
Well, the good thing is most of the students are familiar with what they're doing. Now the parents are just having to catch up and make sure that their little ones are doing their
and to
work.
really check, hey, show me what you're doing online. You say that you've completed this, but show me. And so, I mean, you've got some out there that are really smart and they could kind of trick their parents. Oh, I did this, and it could be first semester's assignments. So they do have to watch. But the K2s, I think, and including myself, we've never logged into Google. We didn't know Jace's password and log in, so that's been just a transition. But everything has gone very well so far.
And we want to reiterate to the parents, make sure your children are doing the assignments. It will help them in the long run. They need to be stimulated academically, and these assignments that are given to them will do that for them.
Right.
And don't forget, if you have any questions, your teachers and principals are available Monday through Friday from 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And they, trust me when I say, they want to help.
Yeah, they do, and they miss seeing their students. I'll tell you, Jace missed seeing his teacher. We actually had a Google Meet, which we'll talk about that a little later, with all of the kids, and all the kids just saying, hey, everybody. It was really nice just for them to see each other, for them to see the teacher, and so that's just been one great way of communicating.
Awesome. All right, well, we're going to dive in, and you're going to educate us and teach us what everybody should know about distance learning.
We're going to start with Google Classroom, which a lot of teachers have transitioned to that if they didn't have anything in place before. Some of them used Haiku. So if they've already been in a classroom prior to this distance learning reinforced, so most people went to Google Classroom. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Google Classroom is basically a platform for teachers and students to interact via posting assignments, engaging in an academic dialogue, as well as getting feedback from one another. It's part of the G Suites, which is, if you're familiar with Google, the docs, the sheets, the slides, Drive, etc. So it provides the students with everything that they need to access the classroom, their homeworks, the assignments, group projects, files. It's basically,
they were doing this anyway, correct?
Some of them were, right. And so like K2s, they weren't. So now that they are, they're all on Google Classroom, and it's been great. So basically, Google Classroom is designed for collaboration and organization, just to get us started.
Well, Misty, one of the things that I wanted to bring you on report is to actually give us and show us some step-by-step instructions.
Okay, so first we'll start with Google Classroom if you didn't get there and get started last week when we started with distance learning. So I'll go ahead and just set up. Basically, the teacher does all of the work, and then so what they'll do is send the students versus a text message through school status or something, the class code. So for example, like K2s, just because I'm using that example because my son's at K2, he's in kindergarten. So what the teacher did is they've only got 20 to 25 students, so they just went ahead and entered their students in there. So when Jace went to sign in for the class, we just clicked join class. It was pretty easy. But when you're looking at the older grades and they've got 120 to 150 students, you're not probably going to enter every single student. So what they do is just shoot the parents, hey, this is the join code, and you'll join the class, and then the student's automatically in, and the teacher can see who's in, who hasn't, and then kind of shoot them an invite code. So we'll start there at first. So you can access Google Classroom at any time by just going to classroom.google.com.
And when parents are signing in, they're signing in with their
Their
children.
students, yes. And so you always want that Google sign-in. So when you just go to Google sign-in, you're looking for that blue sign-in, because they're going to have to be in. So the email address is going to be their first initial, their middle initial, and their last name at tupeloschools.com. That's for everybody. And then their password is their IMSIS number. They may also call it their lunch number. It does include the preceding, the beginning zeros. So once you're in, you've got this waffle up there, the little dots, all those dots, we call it a quilt or a little waffle cone. If you click that, you can go to Classroom. This is where all of your information is for your student. So if you click that, you can go to Classroom. And you can see that Jace is already in 2 classes, but he's also been sent a code. So if the teacher had actually emailed him or actually put in his email address, instead of this class right here, down here at the bottom, he would see join class and just click join class. So for an example, if you've got a class code, where do we go? You're just looking at this blank screen. So you're gonna go up here at the top where it's the plus and you click join class. And then that's when you type in your unique code that the teacher sent you and click join.
Very simple.
It's very simple. And then here we are. We're in that class. Yes, you can. So I'm going to go back to classes, all of his classes, and go back to the sample class that we have set up. So basically, once you're in, this is what it looks like. Mine just says sample. Obviously, if we go back to all of his classes, his real class is Miss Riley's. So, but for now, I'm going to show you the sample class. At the very top, you'll see 3 tabs. There's Stream, Classwork, and People. Really, the main 2 that your student's going to be in is Stream and Classwork. So basically, Stream, it kind of can be compared to an interactive workbook. It's an outline of the course, announcements with a full overview of your homework. Like the teacher can share something right here. You can share something with your class.
When you say share, you mean like a chat or that's how they communicate with each other during
They
this time?
can. That's one thing. So like on Miss Riley's class, what she had done initially was she just sent out at the very beginning, she just posted, hey guys, I hope you're doing well. And she just said, hello families, I hope you're staying safe and enjoying your time. Just kind of a blast out to everybody.
Gotcha.
Not really an assignment, not really anything to do, but basically just saying, hey, I hope you're doing well, I miss you, and so forth. Yeah. And then over here on the left, you have upcoming, any kind of assignments that have a due date. You can see that this is when they're due and so forth. So basically, it's just kind of an overview, an outline. Anything that the teachers adds here, this is what the students will see.
Gotcha.
The next tab is your classwork tab. That's where you're going to find, as a parent or as a student, you're going to find your child's assignments here. So let's look for Monday's assignments.
Now, when do the teachers actually load the assignments?
Well,
Or does it depend on the teacher?
I think it depends on the teacher.
Okay.
So it's kind of what they've got set up already. Miss Riley does it the day before for the week before. So she's already pushed out. We've already got a text message via school status.
Okay.
So she's already sent out this week's assignments are already here and so forth. So with the classwork tab, this is where you can see it, and then you click on View Assignment. Well, Monday's assignment is write 3 sentences about what you did over the weekend.
Okay.
So this is our classwork tab. And if you look at this overall, if you type in class comments, your class is going to see it.
Okay.
And that may be something that she posts that wants a discussion to be made. So you could have class comments there. But if you're actually writing something up and creating it, your work is over here. So the plus sign is to add or create. If you click that, if you already have it typed up and you just want to attach it, you can. We did type something up. It is saved in the Google Drive. If you want to type something, you could go to Docs. But just because you typed, you want a document to pop up, you actually have to still click on it and type something in there.
I got you. Well, this is very cool. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we're going to go deeper.
Okay, sounds good.
Welcome back to Distance Learning 101 with the Tupelo Public School District. I'm Greg Ellis, and Misty McCrae is here going through step-by-step instructions with us on how to do assignments, get into Google Classroom, and now we want to turn our assignments in.
Right.
So that's key as well.
That's important.
If you're going to do the work, let's get credit for it.
Okay, so we left off with actually creating the doc, but like I said, you actually have to go and put something in the document unless you have something already. So I'm going to exit out of this, and actually, we've already created something for the weekend. So I'm going to go to the Google Drive because we've already created a doc and it's saved in his Google Drive. And it comes up with recent, anything that you may have uploaded, your drive or starred. So the recent, and we named it Monday's assignment. And I can see that something's written, and then click Add. And it'll take just a few seconds to boom. But if you just want to double check, make sure that that was the right assignment. Yes, this weekend we worked in the yard. I planted my first tomato plant, and we also went riding in the neighborhood and fed the geese. That's it. So once you go back and look, you've got options up here. You've got a turn in button at the top where you could automatically turn it in. And it just takes you right back where you were. Turn in your work. One attachment will be submitted. That's it. Turn it in.
Now the big question. I've turned it in, and I went, oh my gosh, I forgot to do something. Can I go back, or is that
That's
pretty much
easy.
it?
Check this out. Unsubmit right here. Ooh, I needed to add another sentence or something. So you do have the option. Are you sure you forgot to add something? You want to change attachments? Absolutely. Then you can unsubmit it there.
And then you just go back through the process.
And then you go back the same process. You could edit it. So if we wanted to add one more thing, maybe I thought it said, and then you have access to click on it again, change, make any changes, whatever you want to do. And then you can turn it in again.
Great.
And then you can always see that you've turned it in, because on the top right it says turned in. You know that you've done that much work. Say that the teacher gave you an assignment and you're really not even sure what to do with it. If you see this private comments right here, you can actually type in and it just goes to your teacher. So the whole class doesn't know, oh, look at him, he asked that silly question or something. So this is just a private question. Can you help me with this? And then she actually gets the message and she can comment back. And it's just those two.
It's real time, right?
Right,
So
right.
As soon as he types it, she's going to get it.
Yeah, the teacher actually will get an email saying so-and-so has posted a question. They'll get an email when they turn in the assignment. It's however their settings are up. If they don't want tons of emails, if they have 120, they can actually adjust that as well. So that's actually going back over the classroom. The next thing I was going to show you is Google Meet. We've had a lot of Google Meets lately, and that's been just virtual meeting. And I know that they have a Meet and a Hangout. So if you go to that little waffle at the top, there's a Meet. If you scroll down, there's a Hangout as well. So there's a little confusion, which one do we use? Is it a Google Hangout or is it a Google Meet? Hangout was more or less for like video chat, just kind of a quick, and now that we've gone, oh, we need to meet with all principals and more participants, Google Meet is sufficient for that. It's kind of the new and updated of the Hangout. So Google Meet is easy.
Which I feel like I do every day.
I know, we do, actually. I've got another Google Meet. Okay, I've got to get out of my pajamas. So basically what that is if we've had a Google Meet, and actually I'm going to go to Jace's real class, Miss Riley's class, and I did notice today, because I'm just now checking it, is that we have a Google Meet. So basically your teacher will post, we will meet again this coming Wednesday. She gives you the link. And if you don't have access to a computer, maybe y'all are somewhere. I mean, I know that this is trying times for everybody. You can actually call it in. So it gives you the phone number, you enter that PIN, and you'll be part of that chat as well.
You bring up another good question. I've been a part of the Google Meets where people have used their telephones, but are these assignments? Can you do them on your tablets and your telephone as well?
Yeah.
If you don't have a computer?
Right, yeah, you can do it from anything as long as you've got that link. So here's my sample one. So we've got a Google Meet today at 10 o'clock. To join the meeting, I can click here. So that's really easy if you have this app on your phone, on your iPad, or computer, or like I said, you can just join in by calling.
Okay.
So as soon as you click that link, this is your Google Meet.
There you are.
There we are. It's not a good angle. So the first time that you log on to Google Meet, it's going to ask you to allow camera and microphone. So do allow that, and you just click Join Now. And then when you do join, there will actually be people there in the class and ready. So that's the Google Meet. But like I said, anybody could join, and it's really simple. Reload that assignment and turn it in.
And that allows for the teacher to see the students. It really becomes a virtual classroom.
It does. It does. And we've heard that teachers are reading books to their students while they're on there. One thing that I would suggest is as soon as you log into the Google Meet, mute your mic. You get a lot of feedback with everybody and dogs in the background and everybody running around. So as soon as you get in there, mute your mic. You have a camera and a little microphone, and you could just mute it. And then when you want to talk, just unmute it and then mute it back. So that's been the good thing about that.
Yes, I was on one the other day, and a dog decided that he or she wanted to participate.
Right.
It was funny, but after a few seconds, it was like, okay, mute your button.
That's right. Turn it off. Absolutely. So that's kind of Google Classroom, Google Meet in a nutshell, at least to get these parents, students started. It's really easy once you get in here, and you get in there and you get the feel of it and all of that. So it's kind of easy. But like I said, if you're not very tech savvy, this is a whole new world. And a lot of people are just kind of scared to initially get in there and get started. So,
what's the biggest question that you've been asked about this? Let's see if we can come up with some questions. For instance, for a parent, is there been a common denominator as far as issues that people have experienced?
I haven't heard of any issues.
Okay, that's good.
That is good. Now, maybe they just hadn't gotten to me yet, but I haven't heard of any. I think their biggest concern is the kids that don't have internet access. Right. How are we going to get them? And I mean, we mailed out hundreds of packets for those children too. But as far as just Google Classroom, I haven't heard anything. There'll be like specific teachers say, hey, how do I do this? Oh, right. Well, you got to copy the assignment so that everybody will be assigned. Just little stuff like that. But as far as from the other end, from the parents, I haven't gotten a lot of feedback on their end. So maybe that is a good thing.
Well, that's good. You brought up your son, Jace. Let's just, and not to put him on the spot, because obviously a kindergartner time on here is going to be far different from someone in high school. But approximately how much time, let's say, is Jace a day spending on his assignment?
Okay.
Or does it vary by day?
It does vary, but initially I think I went in in a little panic mode. I'm a former 8th grade English teacher, and
Poor kids.
you're right. And Sam had meetings, and I was just like, "Raz, kids, get on it." And he started out with 250 points, and then he's gotten like 20,000 points. Miss Riley was like, "How many books has he read?" I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry." I finally let him slack up after a couple of hours. So maybe I was. Again, it's adjusting. It's getting used to our new normal. So.
And that's key to be able to recognize.
And I'll be honest. I actually messaged Miss Riley, Jace's teacher, this morning, and I said, "Send me your schedule. Send me your class schedule. I need to know what your routine was so I can keep him in his routine."
Right.
I mean, it's so important. I mean, we're a month out with this is a lot of time off, and with people that have multiple kids at home. I mean, I just have one 6-year-old.
Bless those parents.
I can't imagine. So, I mean, you just got to be organized. But he was spending way too much time, I think, initially.
You had him in school
And then,
more when
right, Miss Riley was like, brain breaks, brain breaks. I'm like, oh, that's for me. Yes, he was like, Mama, and he'll finally, can I have a break? Can I do like move to learn or something? So now I have a schedule. So now we have at least something, it's only 20 minutes with Lexia or such like that.
Right.
So yeah, I was definitely guilty of nailing it to the wall.
A child of 2 educators.
It's bad.
Poor kid.
He didn't have a chance at first.
But it's funny you talk about routines, and kids thrive under routines.
Mm-hmm.
So do I. So
I thrive under a routine.
I miss my routine.
Right.
And if I don't do the same thing, I kind of get lost.
Yeah.
And so I can't wait to get those routines back. Well, Misty, you have been awesome. I know our parents are going to find this so helpful.
I hope so.
And, we don't know how long this is going to be.
Right.
But we're going to do everything we can to prepare our students. And also note that we are still doing 10:30 to 12:30 at Pierce Street and Lawndale for grab-and-go lunches and breakfasts. So all you got to do is be 18 or under. If you've got 5 meals, you need to have 5 people in the car. It's very safe. And we really encourage you to get those nutritional meals. They're very key in learning. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
For Distance Learning 101, I'm Greg Ellis, and we'll see you next week with another episode.